a supernatural being capable of creating realities, becoming anything you desire. And today we're going to cover how to rewire reality through the alignment of the masculine and feminine energies, which are your batteries to creation. So welcome to the Quantum Alignment free training for women. I'm Ira Morphy and I will be hosting you tonight. So let's jump straight in. Life is a game of energy and you are absolutely always playing whether you're conscious of it or not. But are you even aware that there are rules and cheat codes to this? Most people play life completely unconsciously. They wake up, they live life on autopilot and allow their subconscious patterns to hijack their entire reality using old programs. Then they wonder why they don't like the life that they live, right? It's really just because your subconscious, with the fears, with the limiting beliefs, with all these different patterns that it has been taught, is projecting your entire reality instead of you consciously taking control. So in this training, I'm going to not only show you the rules, but also the cheat codes, so you never ever play unconsciously again. After going through this process, you will be operating from a completely different wavelength. And yes, it is a process. It's not a one-time manifestation thing, which is usually what you see, that works once and then doesn't work again. This is going to ensure that you become a magnet to your reality. You never, ever, ever need another manifestation method again. Finally play the game of reality consciously, but there is no going back. After this, you will never see reality the same way because you will understand how it works. You need to lock in now because what I'm going to be showing you is going to transform your life. Set your phone aside and focus on this training. There's no outputs without inputs. I am convinced that this will be what propels you towards actually living the life that you want. So who is this for? This is for the woman who knows deep down they are meant for more success, more freedom, more abundance, but you keep hating these subconscious blocks that just limiting you from your potential. If you've read the books, done the affirmations, done all these different methods, but nothing seems to stick. You've achieved some level of success, but you know there's a gap from where you are to where you want to be. You are tired of repeating old patterns, whether it's finance struggles, relationship challenges, self-doubt, overworking, trying to control everything, never in flow, procrastination, and you're just ready to rewire your reality. You crave alignment with your divine, authentic being, right? Connection to the spiritual, flow with the universe. And if you want freedom, passion, excitement in your life, waking up every single day, knowing that you're an unstoppable force, well, this is for you. And this is also for the women who are committed, because this is not for you if you're not willing to dedicate time and effort to your transformation, period. This is a lifestyle. You're not willing to face your darkness, your repressed aspects, because you're a dual being, and manifestation is not about just the positive. It's about working with your entire self. You're not committed to changing your life. You're not ready to step into the unknown and let go of what holds you back. You want get-rich-quick results, but you need to understand, what I'm teaching you is not these methods that you have learned that are out there in the internet. This is a lifestyle. This is a complete rewiring of your mind that actually builds up to you becoming a powerful, conscious, continuous, and conscious creator. This is not a one-time thing. So how did I find the best way to manifest? If you don't know me, my name is Ira Morphy. I'm a metaphysics researcher and subconscious reprogramming specialist, and I'm going to share a little bit on my journey so you can understand where this knowledge comes from. So for years, I actually thought that success equaled self-worth. I was born and raised in Peru. I migrated to the United States with my family, and we had nothing. And all I had was really just a dream. I was in Miami. I would see all these rich people with their nice cars, with their nice things, and I would be like, man, I want that too. So all I had was just that intense dream. And if I just worked hard enough, built a thriving business, and reached financial freedom, I'd finally be fulfilled. Actually, that's what I thought, right? And for a while, it seemed to be working. I went from struggling, being in an abusive household, dropping out of high school, to becoming a multi-six-figure at the age of 20. I was really young. And living in a luxury high-rise, finally getting all these things that I wanted. And all of that happened because I was so relentless, and I was already in my spiritual journey since I was 17. So I was already working with the laws of the universe, etc. But instead of feeling free, once I actually did reach success, I was constantly stressed, drained, and feeling numb. I had unknowingly tied my entire identity to external success. And when that foundation started to shake, so did I. I had mastered strategy and action, but something else was missing because my manifestation abilities were not working anywhere. And I was stuck in my masculine energy, always forcing, chasing, and controlling. And then, as if the universe was giving me no other choice, I lost everything. My business collapsed, my sense of self crumbled completely. I was an alcoholic, I was taking substances, and I had nothing to hold on to, not even my apartment, so I literally went homeless in this time. That's me. That's me. You can see I even looked older. I was just going through it really hard. But anyways, I decided to walk away from everything and travel to South America, which is where I'm from. And I went searching for answers. So I immersed myself in hermeticism, mysticism, and the deeper mechanics of reality. I was trained by shamans, occultists, showing me what I had been missing all along. This is when I understood what I was missing. Manifestation is not only about thinking and feeling positive, it is about alignment with your being, and that can only be done through the energetic balance that governs all creation, which is the principle of gender, aka the law of duality. And everything shifted once I understood this and started to integrate it. Manifestation became effortless. My subconscious mind started to work for me and not against me, and clarity replaced confusion. Why am I telling you all this? Because we live in a dual realm. Everything has a duality in every way, including you. Everything holds masculine and feminine energy at its core. And these are the two primordial energies that create reality, and they reside inside of you. These are your literal batteries for creating reality, and the more imbalanced that they are, the more you manifest alignment, which is heaven according to the Kabbalah, and the more imbalanced that they are, the more you manifest hell, right? Both are states of mind. They're not like physical places, they are literal states of mind that are dictated by the imbalance or balance of masculine and feminine energy. And they cannot work without one another, by the way. Like, they cannot work without that one another. But the imbalance of these energies is a result of survival mechanisms which do lie in the subconscious mind. This means that to manifest, you must work with your light and your darkness. The path to conscious reality creation is a path of mastery over the dual. And this is when I actually went through my realignment, right? This knowledge actually really did push me to pursue the spiritual path as my career, right? And after a bunch of help from different mystics, travel, studies, I became devoted to helping women actually break free from these limiting patterns and activate their highest potential through the power of their mind and the mastery over the law of duality. So as of today, I've actually guided over 1,000 people in rewiring their subconscious minds and aligning with their true potential and becoming confident reality creators. I've built an amazing business that I absolutely love, right? I've been able to travel quite a lot, build a relationship of my dreams, and even started sharing my knowledge on TikTok, Instagram, where I built a huge community that I am so grateful for. But I share this because I know how easy it is to fall into the trap of hustle, burnout, procrastination, forcing success. I had to lose everything and spend years upon years of trial and error, of traveling, studying, training, investments, to understand the way that this reality works. And you don't have to make the same mistakes I did. You don't have to even spend half of the time that I did. But what I discovered changed my life forever, and today I'm gonna help you unlock it for yourself. Just like my client who took advantage of this and was able to leave alcoholism behind through reprogramming their subconscious mind while they're sleeping. So this is insane, okay? Now, let's get into it. The law of duality is the key to shedding what holds you back by integrating the shadow, bring any reality into existence, master quantum jumping, unlock and strengthen your true spiritual power, because when you connect with yourself, this also connects you with your with who you really are, and helps you actually transcend the limits that the society puts on the human mind. Align with your true potential and mission. I hope you're taking notes because we're about to dive into some crazy knowledge. So how does this reality work? The quantum field, what is it? Because I'm sure you've heard about it so much. So what is reality made up of? It is made up of matter, and matter is made of atoms. And atoms are made up of smaller particles called electrons, protons, neutrons, and even neutrons are made of even smaller particles called quarks, which are made of positive and negative charge as well. So what really is the size of an atom? Because this is not actually how it looks like. So if the nucleus was a basketball, the electron that is like flying around the nucleus would be the tip of a needle, right? And the electron would be flying around the nucleus 18.64 miles away, which is 30 kilometers. There's just so much distance, right? So what's in between that? What is in between that? So let's take it back to the original scale. And in the real scale, we took all humans and we mushed them together so they're atoms and are just, cheek to cheek. Do you know what we are left with? Without that empty space, the matter that we would make up is a singular sugar cube. That's crazy, right? So, conclusion. Reality is made up of 99.999 and so on percent of nothing. Because that's crazy. This is mathematically proven, by the way. But is it really made up of nothing? In quantum physics, this space, this nothingness, is actually energy. That essentially particles themselves are also made up of energy, right? So what is energy? Energy is information, and this is actually what quantum physicists call photons, okay? Remember this, photons. Why do you want to remember this? Because everything, including matter, thoughts, and emotions, is fundamentally energy vibrating at different frequencies. Particles don't exist as solid objects until they are observed. Until then, they exist as waves of infinite potential, proven in the double slit experiment. Okay, let me break this down a little bit. So this is an experiment that was done with double slits, right? Shooting particles through this double slit to see their behavior. So when they were able to test it with photons, which is light, the way that light behaves through the double slit is in this wave pattern, right? As you can see right here at the bottom. So in the other screen, you can see a pattern of waves that is being shown. So the interesting thing, and why I keep saying that particles don't exist as solid objects until they're observed, well, they expected particles, right, because they're matter, to behave linear, just like here. They had done it with marbles, they had done it with sand, and it would behave linear. In comparison to light, when the particles would shoot through the double slits, it would create just two linear patterns. Like literally just create the double slits, but on the back screen, and it wouldn't create like that light pattern, just like here, right? Where this got crazy is that when they would turn off the camera and the particles were not being observed, right, matter, they would behave like light. They would behave like photons. And when they turned the camera back on, it started to behave like matter again, linear. This means that your focus, awareness, and consciousness interact with this field, collapsing potential into reality. The moment that you observe reality, it collapses into a material form. However, it's also important to realize that the person observing the particle also dictated how the particle behaves. So the experiment result varied depending on the person observing. This means that reality is responding to you. Like you're not responding to reality. Reality is responding to you. And this perception, right, which is actually what creates reality, is not purely conscious. It is completely governed by deeper subconscious programs. So what is perception made of? As you can see, your perception is what creates reality down to like a molecular level. And what is perception? Our subconscious beliefs, that's what perception is. But it's deep-rooted beliefs, right, that are made up of thoughts plus emotions that are incoherent, and thoughts and emotions create feelings. Our feelings are actually the language of the quantum field. We are always having a conversation with this field, only we don't notice, or if we do, we struggle changing it because our subconscious mind holds these deeply rooted beliefs. And it's actually our heart, our feelings, right, through the electromagnetic field that is emitted from your heart. This is scientifically measured, by the way. It is a field that is 60 times stronger than the brain, and it is emitted from the heart. And this one is actually the one that interacts with the quantum field. Just tie all of this knowledge together. So let's get into the principle of gender so you can see. The principle of gender is one of the 7 hermetic principles, stating that everything in this universe contains both masculine and feminine energy. These are not like anything about biological sex, although the two bodies are created after these energies, but cosmic forces that actually drive creation. So regardless of your sex, you always have both energies. So let's think of the feminine energy as like the matrix itself, with the idea, with the dream, with the heart, and then the masculine energy is the one that codes all of that into existence. Like it's the coder of the matrix, right? It puts in order or organizes everything into formation. Both are necessary for our manifestation. Without the masculine energy, there's no direction. Like this, it just becomes chaos, right? My particles would fall apart. There would not be like a set rule to let the particles know of this chair to behave like a chair and to look a certain way, etc. So it would be chaos. And without the feminine energy, nothing comes into form. The masculine energy wouldn't even exist without the feminine energy. Both are needed for creation. So in quantum physics, energy exists as a wave of potential that is not finite until you observe it, and then it collapses into matter, which would be the masculine energy, right? This mirrors how the masculine energy initiates the structure in which reality shows up to you, while the feminine energy holds the infinite creative potential. This is how you create reality. Like these are your batteries. Just as the universe operates through gender polarity, so does your mind and your energetic field, okay? So let's talk about the balance and the imbalance. So how it would look like in these two. So I'm sure you've seen the yin and yang symbol. Yin being the black and yang being the white, and black white doesn't mean negative positive. It just means unknown and known, right? So the feminine energy manifestation is magnetic. It is inward. It is receptive. It is the internal world. That's why it's depicted in black. It is the unknown, right? The connection to the spiritual as well. The subconscious, the emotions, the heart, the intuition, connection, the creative energy. okay? And the masculine energy, when it's in manifestation, it is electric, it is outwards, it is expansive. The external world, your reality, your conscious mind, your ego, which is your identity, right? You need your ego. It is not bad unless it goes to an extreme, because it differs you from me, right? If you didn't have your ego, you would just be one with everything. That's not creation. So willpower, your action, your direction, right? And the thing is that if you are going to be balanced, these two energies are working in a marriage, okay? They're in a marriage. When they're balanced, they're not neglecting each other. They're working in a way where it works for the person, right? I'm somebody who's a little bit more in the masculine energy. As a woman, I love being in my masculine energy, but I also don't neglect my feminine. I work with both, right? But find a balance that works for you, okay? So there's never like a set balance. You're always gonna be shifting. Now, when they are in imbalance, for the feminine energy, it becomes chaos, disconnect from organization, lack of direction, willpower, dominated by emotions, lack of boundaries, struggle to do and take action. And this is also the victim mentality. Why? Because the extreme of the feminine energy is neglecting the masculine energy, which is your willpower, your ability to take responsibility, right? Your identity as well, your direction. So every single time there is an imbalance, it's because it's in a fight with the opposite energy, like the healthy energy. And the imbalanced masculine energy is control, right? Like this is where I was as well. And I was actually shifting back and forth between these two. It is control, it's disconnection from the heart, lack of intuition, lack of real clarity, superficial because you're too in the external world, right? You overwork, you're rigid, you're dominated by the ego, too logical, struggle to receive and be vulnerable. So this one, as you can see, isn't a fight with the feminine energy, okay? Like with the divine feminine energy. And the interesting thing is that a person could actually shift between both of these, because these two, just like these on top who are in a beautiful, healthy marriage, these two can also be in a toxic relationship, basically, right? Like they have a dynamic between each other, okay? So feminine energy is not chaos, it's flow. But in order for you to have flow, you need order, okay? So these two need to work together. But if you neglect order, you go into chaos, okay? So flow becomes chaos, which is the extreme of the feminine. It is the imbalanced. In order to have order, you need flow, but if you neglect flow, you go into control, which is the extreme of the masculine. So this is the dynamic. You probably can see a little bit of where you are depending on this. So your reality reflects the balance or imbalance of the energies within you. Your dominant energy pattern affects the opportunities you attract, the way challenges manifest in your life, whether you experience flow or resistance in creation. So the power of energetic alignment is super important to transition from manifesting occasionally to a state of continuous conscious creation where you're in flow with a higher power. You need to embark on a journey of alignment. Manifestation is not simply about setting intentions, it requires a precise balance between these two energies. The heart and the mind must work together in harmony for manifestation to be a sustainable and intentional process. Masculine and feminine energy imbalances do not appear at random, though. They are deeply rooted in the subconscious survival mechanism. True manifestation requires for you to address these survival-driven distortions in your energetic field so that energy can flow freely and without resistance, okay? So to align, we must first, okay, this is the process, attune the heart. You open the heart, you work with the heart, you align it with its natural vibration, which will allow you to operate from emotional coherence rather than subconscious patterns. Then once the heart is more aligned, the masculine energy, which is the conscious mind, can act from a healthy and aligned place rather than imbalance now that it has a clear intentional foundational or internal foundation. Now it can provide direction, making decisions, and taking aligned action without unnecessary force or struggle. Why do we work first on the feminine energy? Because the feminine energy is the vibration. That's actually what creates reality, right? Your masculine energy is just what puts that vibration into order. Whether you're two in the masculine energy or two in the feminine energy, you have a fight that is vibrational, right? In your heart, there is that resentment towards the opposite energy. So we need to first work on the heart in order to tune both. So how do we do that? I help women who are overly reliant on their masculine energy or have an overall imbalance go from feeling disconnected and emotionally overwhelmed, fight, flight, or freeze mode to actually shedding those layers that are holding them back so they can live a fulfilled, successful, and mystical existence. And I work with clients using my quantum priestess formula so they can confidently create their reality, be in flow, and align with their true potential and inner truth. So this is how. This is done through these three important processes that are done all at once, okay? So the first one is strengthening your awareness. The second one is working with your dark side. And the third one is to build a relationship with your whole self. So let's dive into the first one. To balance the masculine and feminine energy, we must first understand how to use them to consciously create. So as you can see the Temple of Solomon here, which is mentioned in ancient mysticism quite a lot of times. And the masculine energy would be the concentration, right? It's the direction. It is that solar energy. And the feminine energy is meditation. It is internal. It is receptive. Okay? So awareness, which is that receptive, meditative energy, is the yin energy, feminine energy. It is the ability to observe without judgment, to recognize subconscious patterns, and to connect with deeper intelligence of the self because you are being receptive. And concentration is masculine yang energy. It directs focus, it applies intention, it channels energy towards creation. So this is the key to energy manipulation. Now, first, we will strengthen your awareness using yin energy, using my hyper awareness strategy so you learn to communicate with your divine self and subconscious mind. And this allows you to develop self-mastery because you become more aware of subconscious patterns because you are observing yourself more and what your being truly desires, right? You communicate with your psyche and whole self. You identify where energy is being blocked or misaligned because you can observe, right? You have more of an awareness over your energetic field. Using awareness as a tool to alchemize your masculine and feminine energy, shifting from contraction to flow and creation. So this brings you back to the present moment. And then once you're there, you're going to strengthen your intentional concentration, which is an aspect of masculine energy, where you are going to direct energy with precision towards aligned goals, alchemize emotions, and reprogram subconscious resistance in real time. This is how we successfully use the conscious mind to reprogram the subconscious and consciously manipulate our energetic field. Like these two need to combine. For example, if you put your awareness right here, like focus all of your energy here, you are observing how it feels, right? You feel a tingling sensation, that's your feminine, but you directed your energy using your masculine. This is what I mean. You can do this with your emotions, with your subconscious, with goals. Like this is the key to anything that you want to accomplish in the spiritual. Now, the second thing that we're going to do using what we just learned is going to be integrating the dark side. So you can share the subconscious layers that actually keep you stuck in cycles, procrastinating, overworking, disconnected, misaligned. So true balance isn't achieved by suppressing the parts of you that resist change. It's achieved by integrating them. I love this picture because the way that I see it is that there's all these different parts of you. They need to be integrated because they have different goals. They have different ways of protecting you that are completely against your conscious goal, right? So if you're trying to achieve something, but there's a part of you that is scared of it, it's going to try to protect you from it. So you, for example, could procrastinate, right? So there's all these different parts of you. You're not just this one set personality. You have all these different aspects of you that make up who you are. And the work here is to integrate them, to work with them, to talk to them, okay? So at this stage, we work directly with the subconscious mind to reprogram these limiting patterns through shadow work, memory regression, hypnosis, parts work, inner child integration techniques. And this process reveals the deeper survival imbalances driving your behavior. It allows you to alchemize internal conflicts, so all aspects of yourself move towards one unified goal instead of working against each other. And this heals the disconnection between the masculine and feminine energy, bringing them into natural harmony because, of course, imbalances happen because of survival mechanisms. And by integrating your shadow, you no longer operate from unconscious resistance. You align fully with your highest potential. You remove that resistance, right? So the third one, and remember, we do all of these things at once. You need to reorganize your life around your whole being. The final step is not just about self-care. It's not just about taking yourself out. It's about prioritizing your relationship with your entire self, your psyche, your energy. This is the only way that you can actively speak to yourself, to work with yourself, to work with your light, with your darkness, to understand what your higher self is telling you, right? So when you neglect this connection with your entire self, right, you remain in survival mode, leading to misalignment, procrastination, and resistance. You don't really have that connection. Like, you don't understand what's going on. You just become a victim to your energy, right? So to break free, you must actively build and nurture this relationship with yourself. When you do this, everything shifts. Work and action feel more fluid, natural rather than forced. Creativity expands because you're connected to yourself. And so do intuitive downloads, psychic abilities, but in a grounded way. Goals become easier to achieve because you're no longer operating from misalignment or struggle, right? When your life is structured around your true self, right? Your darkness, your light, success and fulfillment stop being something you chase. It becomes your natural state of being. You're communicating with your dark side. You're working on reprogramming that. So you're removing that resistance, and then you're working with your light side to understand what your being truly wants, and you're confidently chasing. Everything here aligns, right? So life becomes a flow. You don't need to force anything. Your manifestation becomes your natural state of being. This, my friend, is just the beginning. I just gave you a fraction of what you need to fully rewire a reality. If I had given you even 50%, this class would have been over 30 hours long. But you now understand the foundations. But knowledge alone isn't enough. The real shift happens when you deeply reprogram your subconscious and integrate this into your daily life. Why do most people stay stuck though? I invested years and tons of my money in trial and error, studying, traveling, working with mystics, testing everything on myself to crack the code on effortless manifestation, but you literally don't have to spend all that time figuring it out like I did, right? Most people struggle because they're trying to piece everything together on their own. But what if I told you I have a clear step-by-step process to align your energy, rewire your subconscious, and start manifesting right now effortlessly without years of trial and error? Well, that's exactly why I created the Quantum Priestess Mentorship. My purpose with the Quantum Priestess Mentorship is to help women step into their true selves and shed what holds them back so they can become confident reality creators and live their dreams, all through rewiring their mind using the law of duality. What makes us unique is that I have deciphered a way to use the law of duality as the foundation to rewiring the human mind, mending the relationship subconsciously between the masculine and feminine energy, which unlocks alignment with your true self, your potential, and actually makes manifestation effortless, since these two energies are your batteries to creating reality. So everybody who has gone through this process, and I've helped hundreds of women through this process, has seen insane results, right? I have a client right there who was able to get paid in 3 different ways, triple their incomes. Right here, Sherry was able to change her life. She also literally got her period after 15 years of not having it through subconscious reprogramming. So this is really, really deep. Okay, so you can pause this if you want. I'm not going to go too much into it, but you can see it. I've also done work with men as well with the same exact process. You have Rajiv right here who was able to clear 30K of debt through the supernatural power of his mind, increasing his salary as well, and gain passion back in life. And Dia right here, 360'd her life, remove her blockages. She's traveling the world now, learning about different cultures. That's super fun. Christina, she shed the layers that were holding her back. She's successfully now in a spiritual career, impacting others, following her purpose. So this mentorship isn't for everybody. It's not. I only work with women who are truly ready to break free from limitations and step into their highest potential, right? And you've been known this from this entire training. Like, you need to be committed to you. I only work with women who are committed, devoted, like they want transformation and they're ready to go through the journey. So because of the depths of my work, because I work super hands-on, I only work with a limited amount of people at a time. So the choice is yours. Are you here to achieve your dreams, to become your best self, awaken your divinity? There's never a better time to start than now. Making decisions scientifically rewires your brain for success. Let right now be what starts that process of reprogramming within you to achieve your dreams. If you're committed to your growth, here's what you need to do. Apply for my private mentorship below with my link. If you are qualified, you will be able to book a free strategy session with my team where we will pinpoint exactly what's going on with you and how we will help you align and rewire your mind to become a conscious reality creator through my private mentorships. Apply for a free strategy session below before spots run out, and I cannot wait to see you inside.